tart is a real favorite at Olive's restaurant. Before Todd shows us how to convert the pizza dough into a tart dough, he has to prepare the filling.
This is really the essence of Provence. I kind of made this tart after one of my favorite tarts, the pistillière. And this has become a popular tart. We bake it in the brick oven. And to do this is really, it was Olive's tart. We have nice anchovies, and these come out of these nice whole anchovies, which I...
packed in salt.
Packed in salt. I like these. I like to really work with these. They're much...
If you haven't seen these, they're very delicious anchovies that have to be soaked first.
Right.
You don't want to use them straight out of the can because that salt is quite potent.
You don't want to let them soak too long, just enough to sort of remove some of that salt, and they soften up a little bit, and you take the backbone out like this. Just peel it back, and you get your nice fillets. Just pinch the tail, and then you've got beautiful fillet like that.
Soak them in olive oil?
It gives them a little bit more richness and kind of takes away a little bit more of that sort of salty fishiness.
So you have these already done.
Ready to go.
So the filling is made out of olives, of course.
These are the Galleta olives, very purpley and meaty olives, one of my favorites. I've pitted these, taken the pits out.
So we need a cup of those.
A couple of those, so let's go in. And like 4 or 5 anchovy fillets. And this is just like, this is basically a tapenade, which they make in Provence all the time. You have the fresh garlic, and this tart actually is just different layers of olives. We actually use this paste and some caramelized onions and some more olives as well. So we're going to start spinning that.
It's like a half a cup of olive oil?
Yep. Just let that spin like that. So we just put a little bit of this chopped rosemary in as well. We'll give it one more pulse. About a tablespoon of chopped rosemary. A little black pepper, fresh milled black pepper. And you don't really need to add salt to this because the olives are salty, the anchovies are salty. So we've got enough salt in there.
How tasty do you want? How puree?
I like it with a little bit of texture, a little chunks. Basically,
okay?
That's pretty much it right there. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to go over and make our tart dough. And
so we're using the same pizza dough that you've already showed us how to make, that wet dough.
Right. This has a little bit different texture in the dough, and it gets flaky by adding some butter. And I have some butter in the refrigerator over there.
So is this 2 sticks of butter?
Yeah, about 2 sticks of butter. This is a recipe of the dough. And 1 batch of pizza dough makes 2 tarts. You can divide the dough, and it's a dough that freezes very well.
Oh, that's great to know.
Again, enough flour in there. We're just going to roll this out like this.
Beautiful dough.
This is proofed, you know, and doubled in size 1 time. And then the rest of this is very much like a puff pastry. We just put the butter scattered all around. The butter actually acts as a leavener, or sort of makes it a little bit flakier and crispier and a little richer and nicer. And I also put in, this is chopped herbs, sweet herbs, all the Provençal herbs that you think about, which is rosemary, sage, oregano. What else is in there? Thyme, and a little flat leaf parsley. And place that in there. Perfect, like that. And then what I'll do is just take this and just give it a quick fold, just like puff pastry would be, or like a brioche dough. It sticks a little bit, don't worry about it. This is a very sort of rough and rugged dough. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. You want sort of those chunks and those little nooks and crannies of butter in it. It really creates a nice flavor there as well. We just, again...
What a nice way to do pizza dough.
Just fold that up like that. Then I'll just give it another pressing with the roller and pin. Give it one more fold so the butter sort of works its way in there, like that.
So you really have big chunks of butter.
Big chunks of butter. It really kind of... what happens is then the dough bakes and stuff. It sort of has this nice, like, crispy, beautiful texture to it. We just give it one more fold.
Sort of wet holes of butter in them, too.
That's right.
Oh, I love that.
Really nice. And so there's our dough. I'm going to let this rest.
Good.
I've actually scaled these out, and you can see how this is.
Now, when you say scale them out, why don't you explain that?
Weigh them out, or sort of divide it. This is basically divided in 2. And you get a nice dough, and I'll roll that out into sort of a little bit thicker. You want it about a ½ inch thick, the dough, ¼ inch thick.
Round or
round?
Not so round?
This time it can be round. So put a little more flour down, and I'll show you how we crimp the sides here. And we'll put all our toppings in there as well. Just take this.
I'm going to just make another one.
Okay.
While you're doing it.
Okay, just take this. Hold your finger there, and just fold like that.
Pretty.
Right there, like that. Just go all the way around. Just keep sort of tucking it around your finger. Just keep folding that over and around like that, and just sort of tuck it right at the end, and there you've got your nice, beautiful tart, like that.
So great. Okay, so why don't you fill this one?
Okay.
I'll roll out mine.
Put it around there. Now again, we're going to start with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to take a little bit of this olive paste, this tapenade-like mixture, put it at the bottom of the tart, like that.
Oh, does that
Just a
look
nice
good.
layer.
What a great color that is, too. I like that.
That is beautiful, the purple. Then I have some onions that I've sort of caramelized in a little bit of butter. This is about a half a cup of onions. You can put more if you like. I like this, too. It's just a little refined sweetness that goes with this as well. And this onion has a nice bite to it. This is a local New York State goat's cheese that I like using a lot. It has a little sharpness to it, which again will add nice flavor to it. Oops, I should probably do the olives first. This is a mixture of all these great olives here. Cracked green calabrese, we've got galletas and oil-cured olive in here. You just spread that on the top like that. And we'll take the goat's cheese as well, put more of that on top. You can see it's really about olives. This whole tart is about olives.
Oh my gosh, it's so rich.
A little bit of salt and pepper over the top, again for flavoring. And then I'll take some of these anchovies, and you can either cut them or lay them on and decorate them on top of the tart, like this. So, and at this point, we've preheated the oven to about 450 degrees, so it's a little less hot than the pizza oven. Then we'll take this over and throw this in the oven. Again, right on our stone.
And then how long?
And about 10 to 12 minutes to cook.
I think the tarts are ready to come out of the oven,
they're ready
and
to go. Look at that.
They are. Oh,
So we just sort of
glorious.
take it and slide it off under the peel. Okay? And we'll put that over here. This is great for lunch. You just serve a nice wedge of it, you know, or a little appetizer. I'd cut it like a quarter of it, or for lunch I'd serve like about that much with a nice little salad on the side. And I'll actually take a little bit of that olive oil and drizzle a bit over the top of that as well. And beautiful. And there you go. Give that a try.
oh wow. This is so just beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Chef Todd English, he's a good thing.